People know to read the Quran, but they don't know to read the Quran correctly. To believe in the Quran, we have to read the Quran, we have to understand the Quran, we have to act upon the Quran, and we have to preach the Quran. These are 5 acts. The men of the Quran, are the special people in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to create that enthusiasm. There are Quranic sciences. We want to introduce these sciences to every student who comes and knows himself. Comes to learn the Quran, he should be aware what are the manners that he has. The men of the Quran and their virtues. We want them to be the men of the Quran. Inna lillahi ahlina minan nas. Ahlul Quran hum ahlullahi wa khassatuh.
ये मरकजुल मारिफिल मुफन की वो किताब है कि जिसमें अहदिनों के हर सवाल का जवाब है। ये मरकजुल मारिफिल मुफन की वो किताब है कि जिसमें
The next topic is to be discussed, Qur'aniyat. For that, I would humbly request Mufti Izharul Haque Qasmi, please come on the podium and discuss Tajweed, Tarjuma and Tafseer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi al-ameen. وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم صدق الله العظيم जो तूफानों में पलते जा रहे हैं जो तूफानों में पलते जा रहे हैं वही दुनिया बदलते जा रहे हैं। लोग कहते हैं बदलता है ज़माना सबको, लोग कहते हैं बदलता है ज़माना सबको, मर्द वो हैं जो ज़माने को बदल देते हैं। For me, it's a great honor to be a part of Syllabus drafting committee. I have been assigned to talk about Qur'aniyat, Tajweed, translation and Tafseer. I have divided, actually at the last moment we were assigned that we have to project 5 years course. 5 years plan, 5 years synopsis. So I have divided my whole PPT into 5 years. But I will explain first year's syllabus in deep and in detail. And other year's syllabus will be projected and presented briefly, inshallah. For first year, actually, I have assumed that we are going to teach a student who is a beginner in Islamic studies. He has not learned anything in Quran and in Hadith, in anything. In the Islamic studies, he has learned nothing. So we have assumed that, and based on that, we have prepared this syllabus. For myself, I have assumed this only and I have prepared this that way. First year's goal, you can see here, first year goal of this course is to enable students to read and recite the Quran correctly and fluently, along with memorization of around 20 short surahs. First year's goal is quite clear. We want the child who is enrolling himself in our program to learn the Quran correctly, he should know how to recite the Quran with correct pronunciation, and he should know some surahs and he should learn it by heart. Before we go to the Quran reading, I have given a few lessons. First unit is basics of Qur'aniyat, means important aspects of Qur'aniyat, just for an introduction to the student. First lesson of that unit is introduction to the Quran. What is Quran? When a child gets enrolled in this program, he should know what is Quran. Quran is the book of Allah. It has been revealed to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He should know all the basic aspects of Quran. So in the introduction lesson of the Quran, I have covered this point. Then comes the second lesson, the Quran and its importance. Every child, if he is going to learn the Quran, he should know what is the importance of this Quran. How should I behave with the Quran? What happens if we don't know the importance of something, we don't behave well with that thing. In third lesson, every lesson carries exercises of around 3 or 4 types, every lesson. And just one page of every lesson I have given. Third lesson is introduction to the Quranic sciences. Quranic sciences like Tajweed, like Tafseer, which we call translation in the beginning, and when we go in deep, we say it Tafseer. Then comes Asbab al-Nuzul, the reasons why the Quran and contextual understanding of the Quran. Then comes Nasb and Mansukh, Nasib and Mansukh. So there are Quranic sciences. We want to introduce these sciences to every student who comes and knows himself in our program. Then comes manners towards the Quran. Every child, when he comes to learn the Quran, he should be aware what are the manners that he has to uphold while reciting, while reading, while dealing with Quran. Then comes the men of the Quran and their virtues. We want them to be the men of the Quran. Inna lillahi ahlina minan nas. Ahlul Quran hum ahlullahi wa khassatuh. The men of the Quran, are the special people in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to create that enthusiasm, that craze to become men of the Quran. Then comes the lesson, the 5 rights of the Quran. Very explicit, 5 rights. We have to believe in the Quran. We have to read the Quran. We have to understand the Quran. We have to act upon the Quran. And we have to preach the Quran. These are 5 rights. I have elaborated these rights as well. Then we will start the main syllabus. And before main syllabus, there are other 2 lessons which are very important. First, the importance of Tajweed. Everybody, in our region especially, people know to read the Quran. But they don't know to read the Quran correctly. In our maktab, if you go to any maktab, you will find people reading the Quran. But they don't read it correctly. Many people who are not from our madrasa background, they know how to recite the Quran, but they are unable to recite it correctly with correct pronunciation. So we have to tell them what is the importance of Tajweed and beautifying the Quran Kareem. Then comes the articulation point. Our target audience is of around 12 to 15 years, as Maulana Javed Sahab told. So they are able to learn, they are able to know and understand articulation points, Makharijul Huruf. How we pronounce any letter, especially in Arabic, this is very important aspect. So I have elaborated all for 17 articulation points of the Quran. Then then comes the second unit, and in this unit we will take. I have proposed that we will take around 140 days, around 4 months. In this portion of our syllabus, I have covered basics of Tajweed. Like I have given Arabic alphabet, Huruf al-Tahajjud, Huruf al-Hijab. In this lesson itself, we will teach them Huruf Mustaliya, the similar letter words, the similar letters which are pronounced similarly, the difficult letters. So first lesson will cover so many things to make the student aware how to know and how to recite, how to read Arabic alphabet. And in the second lesson, I have covered Murakkabat. Murakkabat is combined letters. How to pronounce combined letters. And then comes short vowels, harakat. First lesson is the most important lesson. If a child knows alphabet correctly, he will be able to read other things correctly. And in second lesson, we cover that point only. And in third lesson, we start actual Tajweed. We tell the student, you cannot prolong these letters when it carries short vowels. If a letter carries harakat, you cannot prolong. Otherwise, the meaning may change, and your salah or anything that in which you read the Quran may become invalid. Then comes fourth lesson. These 11 lessons I have submitted to the directors, sir, and other people who are responsible to handle these things. And then comes Sukun, just. Then comes Qalqala. Since Qalqala is similar to just, therefore I have put Qalqala just after Sukun. Then comes Shadda, Tashdeed. And then comes letters of Mad, long vowels. Then comes letters of Leen. And then comes the lesson of rules of Nun Sakin and Tanween, Izhar, Ikhfa, Idgham, Iqlab. And then comes rules of Meen Sakin, Izhar Shafwi, Ikhfa Shafwi and Idgham Shafwi. Then comes rules of Lam of Allah, when it is pronounced heavily and when it is pronounced not heavily. Then comes rules of different kinds of Mad, Muttasil, Munfasil and Lazim. Then comes rules of Waqf, and then comes letters of Muqatta'at, the special words in the Quran and how they are pronounced. And then comes application of rules, Ijra, how we apply every rule in each word of Arabic. 5 months completed. Daily it will take 30 to 40 minutes. We finished importance of Quran, then we finished Tajweed of the Quran. Now we are moving to reading the Quran, reciting the Quran, learning the Quran, how to recite. For 30th para, I have given, in third unit, I have given 1.5 months just for 30th para. Because this is base. If a child is able to read 30th para in 1.5 months, he will be able to read first para in 1 month. That's why I have given Juz 1, 1 month, and Juz 2 and 3, 1 month, Juz 4 and 5, 1 month. So in 4 months, a child has to be able to recite the Quran. This is our target. So it is 9 months completed. In the 10th month, we are going to complete the Quran. The completion of the Quran has its own virtues, has its own benefits. That's why we are going to finish the Quran, complete the Quran. We will ask the student to read one quarter of the para or half para of the Quran himself. Then we will listen any one ruku of that. And this way he will be able to complete the Quran in 1 month, in the last month. He has to complete. Our purpose is to make them complete the Quran. And along with that, we will ask him to memorize short surahs. Because we have to recite the Quran in every salah, in every rakat of every salah. Then we will ask that's why we will ask the child to memorize at least 20 short surahs of the Quran. This way we will finish first year of our course. Then we will move to the next year, second, third and fourth and fifth year. Since it was assigned, that's why I have planned. I don't know how it will go and how it will work, but still I have planned something. And Al-Hamdulillah, 2 of our great members have checked it and they have approved it as well. Once we taught the child how to recite the Quran, we come to next level and we will teach the child basics of Quranic Arabic. Quranic Arabic comprises of so many things, but I've kept it very simple. Like in the first 4 months, we will teach basic Arabic language. I know the Arabic language team will teach so many things, but still it will be our responsibility as well to make them learn some basic language, some basic grammar of Arabic and Quranic Arabic. Then in the next 3 months, we will teach them vocabulary building. There are so many words in the Quran which are repeatedly mentioned in the Quran. Those words, if we teach them, they may cover 50% of the Quran. So in the next 3 months, we will build their vocabulary. And then it is 7 months. And then we will come to the translation of the Quran. Those 20 surahs which they have learned, we will assign them to translate it, to learn word by word and finish the Quran. Finish those 20 surahs with translation. Then in the second year, we will teach them intermediate Quranic grammar and translation. In this, we will cover 5 paras of the Quran. And not 5 paras, but 2 paras. 2 paras from first and second means Surah Baqarah. We will finish Surah Baqarah and 30th para. In the third year, along with intermediate grammar of Quranic Arabic. And in 4th year, we will move to translation of the Quran. And in the whole year, we will finish till 15th para. from Surah Al-Imran till 15th para, along with complex grammar of the Quran. And in the 5th year, inshallah, we will start the science of Tafseer. In the first one, we will introduce them with the science of Tafseer, and in the upcoming 8 months or 7 months, we will finish the Quran in Jalalain Sharif, and in the last 2 months, we will review how the course went and what they have learned and what is going to happen with them after learning all these courses. So this is 5 years plan which I have presented in front of you. I will thank everybody who has assigned me this duty, especially our director sir and the whole team which has shouldered this responsibility. And I especially thank editor of our presentation, Maulana Dr. Hifzur Rahman Sahab, who has checked my this first year course, and he has given important and very enlightening suggestions. And one last request, if you find anything to suggest to me, I am open to listen, everybody. You can mention it here in this session, or you can send me a message on my personal chat. I'll be very happy if I get suggestions from you. Jazakumullahu khairan wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.